Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Srila Vyasadeva, unto Narayana Susi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam and rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, thank you for attending classes. So we are continuing with Canto 5, Chapter 6, these glorious activities of the Viśvambhara. So today we have 5, 6, 13. We will be discussing about that. Today also very auspicious beginning of the Jhulan Jatra, the very much intimate pastime, confidential and very sweet pastime of the Radha, Lolayam Radha Govinda. So, Tasya Anugunan Slokam Gayanti Aho Bhuvaha Sapta Samudravatyaha Deepeshu Basheshu Adhipunyam Etat Gayanti Yatratya Janaha Murarehe Karmani Bhadrani Avatarana Avanti. Tasyanugunam slokam gayanti slokam aho bhuvaha sapta samudravatya deepeshu paseshu adhipunyameta gayanti atratya janamurarehe Karmani bhadrani avataravanti. Looks like this is a prose, It should not have 5 like this. So we'll continue with this one. So, Tasya of him, Lord Rishabhdev, Anugunam, conforming to the instruction for liberation. Slokan, verses, Gayanti, chant, Aho, oh, Bhuvaha, of the earthly planet. Sapta Samudra Bhattayaha, possessing 7 seas. Deepeshu, among the islands. Basteshu, among the lands. Adipunyam, more pious than any other island. Etat, this Bharatavarsha. Gayanti, sing about. Yatratya, Janaha, the people of this tract of land. Murare, of Murari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Karmani, the activities. Bhadrani, all auspicious. Avataravanti, in many incarnations, such as Lord Rishabhdev. Beautiful. The translations, the Lornet's translation in purport by Divine Geshe Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I should have a glass, means I could have showed more verses on this. But glass is not there, reading is there. Learned scholars chant about the transcendental qualities of the Rishabhadev in this way. Oh, this earthly planet contains 7 seas and many islands and lands, of which Bharatavarsha is considered the most pious. People of Bharatavarsha are accustomed to glorifying the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his incarnation as Lord Rishabhadev and others. All these activities are auspicious for the welfare of the humanity. Please respond. Learned scholars chant about the transcendental qualities of Lord Rishabhadev in this way. Oh, this earthly planet contains 7 seas and many islands and lands, of which Bharatavarsha is considered the most pious. People of Bharatavarsha are accustomed to glorifying the activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead in his incarnations as Lord Rishabhadev and others. All these activities are very auspicious for the welfare of the humanity. Purport by Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, भारत भूमिते होइले मनुष्य जन्म यार जन्म सार्थक करी कर परोपकार. As stated in this verse, Bharatavarsha is the most pious land. The followers of Vedic literature understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his different incarnations, and they are privileged to glorify the Lord by following the direction of the Vedic literature. After realizing the glories of human life, such people should take the mission to spread the importance of human life throughout the world, throughout the whole world. This is the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The word Adhipunyam indicate that there are certainly many other pious men throughout the world, but the people of Bharatavarsha are even more pious. Therefore, they are fit to spread the Krishna consciousness throughout the world for the benefit of all human society. Srila Madhvacharya recognizes the land Bharatavarsha, Visheshad Bharate Punyam. Throughout the world, there is no question of Bhagavat Bhakti or devotional service. But the people of Bharatavarsha can easily understand the devotional service of the Lord. This very inhabitant of Bharatavarsha can perfect his life by discharging Bhagavat Bhakti and then preaching this call throughout the world for the benefit of everyone. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnana Anjanasalakaya Chakkhuranimelaytam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanam Sa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Sri Raghunatham Mitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Pla Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Litam Sri Vishakham Mitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpaturvascha Kurpa Sindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanabhya Vaishnavya Namo Nama Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyabadi Pasyata Desha Tarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you very much for attending Srimad Bhagavatam classes. So today we are reading, let's go back to the verse. Practically I cannot see, in just for... so today is very important verse. The two things is the verses actually. First of all, the glories of the Bharatavarsha. Second thing is that we have the glorious activities of the Supreme Lord, which is most important thing. Even after you take the bath in the glorious, in this very pious land, Bharatavarsha. But if you do not glorify, then sarmaya bhai kevalam. What is the use of that? So that is not important, this you land, but it is a favorable position because it's a pious land. Lord is incarnated. Lord has walked through this land. So it is very conducive and congenial for our spiritual advancement. Therefore, people are glorifying, mostly pious people. There are so many pious Prabhupada say, but pious Bharatavarsha. But most important point is here that I would like to relate that this glorious activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnations. That is very important thing. So, as we know, we have been continuing this Rishabhadev things. We have been for 4-5 sessions. We are discussing about the religion, irreligions, and how the irreligion started, how the cheating religion started by Indra. Yesterday we had a classes with Maharaj and Indra story. Now continuing that, this activities of the Lord, that is Bhagavata Dharma. Activities of the Lord to establish Bhagavata Dharma. So, this first thing that before I showed you, before I start with the glorious activity, glories of this Bharatavarsha and glorious activities, first of all, today is very, very auspicious Ekadasi day. Today also the pastime of the very, very confidential and very sweet transcendental swing festival. This is a very exhibition of Vrindavan pastimes. So, these activities like Rishabhadev and so many incarnations coming, descending, for what purpose? First of all, we come to know that before we know that. We should know that why the Lord comes, Rishabhadev incarnation comes. There's a very beautiful things I've heard that this Akbar asked this question to the Birbal that why your personal God has to personally come. God has to personally come for all the things. Paritranaya sadhuna. He could have said, now what is the use of that personally come? I do not agree with that. Then, okay, Birbal say, I will answer you. So one time they were walking on near the pool, swimming pool, near. So Birbal make a replica. That's just like you have a replica of Vrindavan almost. So he replica of his son and throw that replica to the swimming pool. Then he shouted, dear Lord Akbar, the king, your son is drowning. Then, and all the guards is there, but Akbar immediately jumped into that to save. Then he found out it is a replica. He was scolding, why? What kind of joke? No, I have to answer your question. That you ask that why the Lord personally comes. Just like your son, and even not your son, a replica of the son. You thought that your son, he drowned or jumped into this. So now you have so many guards. You could have asked any guard to jump. But why you went? What is the purpose of event? Because you love your son. So same thing. Lord could have done all the thing. He told that paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya chatuskritam. For paritranaya sadhuna, he does not need to come. Fine. Yes, he does not need to come because by chanting Hare Krishna, one sadhu can be delivered. And vinasaya chatuskritam, to killing like Ravana and Kansa. Why he has to come? Krishna, Jasyaika Niswasita Kalam, BS 548. Brahmacharya. Jasyaika Niswasita Kalam Athabalam, Jimantilam Bilate Tagadandanatha. By his breathing process, he could create a billions of universe. In that universe, the Ravana is there, one a small Rakshasa. Maybe powerful, but one by breathing process, he creating billions of. In one universe, there is a one Ravana, one Kansa, one this one. To kill him, he does not need to come. And dharma sanstapana arthaya. Why dharma sanstapana? He could have sent any agent, Prabhupada, so many acharya. He does not need to come. Why he is coming? and enacting such a pastime like transcendental swing festival Janmashtami? Why is appearing? Why the unborn is born? That is the question. That is a very important question for intelligent people. Why God comes? Only thing, that example I have given, to love, to give the this very nice verse by Brahmaji. So many verses is there. So Brahmaji has spoken that. प्रपंचम निष्प्रपंचपि विधाम वैसे भूतले प्रपनम जनतानंद सोढ़हम पतितम प्रभु. So, my dear master, although you have nothing to do with material existence, that could be all kind of your business of dharma sanstapana arthaya could be accomplished by your agents, by your energy of so many energy, vivideva srute, so many multifarious energy, paraparasya shakti vivideva srute. But you come to this earth, immediate material life, just to expand the varieties of ecstatic enjoyment for your surrendered devotee. Whole idea to give pleasure to his devotee. And Prabhupada also say that is a very confidential region, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a external region of appearing and a confidential region of appearing. Similarly, Lord has a confidential region of appearing to give pleasure to his devotees. To give pleasure to his devotees. Otherwise, he has nothing to do with this, all the material existence. Nothing to, he does not need to all come and act all the things from, because to give the pleasure. Prabhupada says that paritranaya sadhuna already liberated. Why to liberate again? That paritran sadhuna means give pleasure. Give pleasure. So whole idea of Rishabhadev is coming. Particularly, we will talk about the activities of the Lord. Then we will talk about the glories of the Bharatavarsha, where the people are glorifying. So here it is said that very nice verses. So why Lord has to come? Because see, our whole, we are talking about religion and irreligion. Although Indra has started the Chala Dharma, but Adharma is not started by Indra. Adharma started when Adharma started. Adharma started when we turn away our first face from the Lord. That is our beginning of Adharma, beginning of our suffering. So here it is very nicely stated here. So, Janascha Krishnad Vimukascha Daivad Adharmasilascha Sukha Sudukhitascha. This two line is very important. Janascha means local, in general people, common people. Krishnad Vimukhascha. Krishna Vimukha means Krishna Bahirmukha Jiva Bhagavan cha kare. So, Nikatastha Mayatare Jhapatiya kare. Krishna, when you turn away from the Lord, Daivad means, and we are captured by the illusory energy of the Lord. Adharma silasya suddhita. That time adharma appears. That time adharma appears, and as we follow the adharma, we give this suddhukitasya. Suddhukitasya means is very suddhukita means lot of miseries. One of which is always unhappy. So, oh my Lord, the great philanthropic soul, travel on the earth on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to fallen souls, who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. So, this is our beginning. As soon as we turn away from the Lord, we have been trapped and we are suffering. We are suffering. Therefore, Lord has to come. Therefore, Lord has to come, because it is stated also again that why Lord has all the things, because he has another purpose of coming also. But first of all, we know this is another beautiful verses. 50 verse. No. Five. What is that verse? When you turn away from the Lord, these are beautiful verses. When you turn away from the Lord, then the misery will come. 11:5:36 or 11:5:18. Let's say. So these are beautiful verses. Where is that? 11:5:18. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. So yes, this is a beautiful verses. Those who have torn away from the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, being under the spell of Lord's illusory energy, that is called Daivat. That is called Dhanasya Krishna Vimukhasya Daivat. Being under the spell of Lord's illusory energy, are eventually forced to give up their so-called homes, children, friends, wives, lovers, which were all created by the illusory potency of the Supreme Lord, and enter again their will into the darkest region of India. So people are suffering in this material world, turning away from the Lord. And Lord purpose is to reclaim the conditioned soul. Despite the fact that we are so adamant, have no idea, no purpose of reconciling with Lord. Still he comes. He enacted all the pastime. The Jhulan Jatra is not just a formalities of collecting money and doing a very extravagant decoration. That is the formalities. That is external. But real thing of Jhulan Jatra is here. This is a very nice verses spoken by the Lord. अनुग्रहाय भक्तानां मानुषं देह आस्थिता भजते तादृश क्रीडा यस्सुत्ता तत्परो भवेत्. When the Lord assumes a human-like body to show mercy to his devotee, he engages in such a pastime as will attract those who hear about them to become dedicated to him. So he is coming and enacting Vrindavan pastime, which is very lofty, which we are not qualified to have at the swing festival. But he comes and enacted all the pastime. Why? He show his kingdom, form, activities, so that people will get attracted to us. By hearing or by practically rendering service to the Lord, we get attracted. We get attracted to the Lord. Whole idea to the turn back to the Lord. Because as soon as we turn away the Lord, we have a problem. We have a miserable problem. We have so many problems by turning away from the Lord. Therefore, Lord assumed this human form of life. And particularly, it is stated that there's a beautiful verses. All this material world, my dear Lord, although it is not your desire, you manifest this creation of gross subtle element just for our sensual satisfaction. Let your causeless mercy upon us, for you have appeared before us in your eternal form, adorned with splendid wreath of tulsi leaf. This is very important verses. Why Lord created this one? Lord has no desire to create this material, obnoxious material world. Because material world is called padam yad vipadam. Samasrita yat pada pallavam. This material world is full of dukkhalayam asaswatam. There's a beautiful verse, 2-3 verses, because I cannot see, I cannot. So they're beautiful verses. 12 or 11, this one. So anyway, I will. So here in these verses it is stated that so many verses are there. So here it is said that materialistic activity are always mixed with three kind of adhyatmic, adidavik, adibhakti. Even if one achieves some success by performing activity, this is the benefit of, there is no benefit of this success. One is still subject to birth, death, disease, old age, and reaction of spiritual activity. So in this material world, we are always suffering. So Lord is created because we want to enjoy that, enjoy sense gratification. But at the same time, Lord is coming with so many different ways. He's appearing in so many different ways. He comes personally and spoke Bhagavad Gita, enacted some Jhulan Jatra, and he also appeared from the Devaki and the. So all this proper purpose to reclaim the conditioned soul, who has averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. Whole idea of Lord coming, try to understand the why the unborn is taking birth and he is enacting all the pastime. Our birth is on account of our karma. Yes or no? Which verses it say? Bhagavad Gita. So better concentrate on this one than this all the thing. All formalities. What is the use of so many things where there is no understanding of the philosophy? So which verses he say that we take birth, but Lord does not take birth according to karma. Because whole idea of Lord's appearance and Lord activities based on this philosophy. You do not know simply, okay, Janmashtami jumping, and rest of the day forget. Janmashtami means always keep in this Lord appearance. Lord, you appeared because of this, how glorious you are. Today we are talking about glorious activities. That of who is glorifying? Bharatavarsha. We are all from Bharatavarsha. You are all from. So why? Which verse? 13:22. 3:31:1. Bhagavad Gita only. 13:22 Krishna it say that Karanam Gunasangasya Sad Asada Janma Janmisu. So according to our karma, Purusha Parkasti Stoti Bhunkte Prakati Jan Gunan Karanam Gunasangasya Sad Asad Joni Janma. According to our karma, we take different. Sometimes we go to the upper planetary system. Sometimes we, according to our karma, sometimes we go to hell. Sometimes we go to different places. This is also stated in which verses, and Bhagavatam, which verses, even CC also. Also, according to our karma, we take birth and different species of life. Sometimes good species, sometimes Indra, sometimes Brahma. These are beautiful verses. Covered by the mode of ignorance, the material nature, living entity, sometimes a male, sometimes a female, sometimes a inner, sometimes a human being, sometimes a demigod, sometimes a bird, animal, so on. In this way, he is wandering within the world. His acceptance of different type of body is brought about his activity under the influence of the modes of nature. So all the things according to our karma. So we are taking birth either demigod. That is also stated in chapter 14. Urdham gatanti satasto. So according to our karma, we do pious activity, but we are rotating. We are rotting in this material world. Sometimes up, sometimes good. This is beautifully stated by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. CC Madhya. I'll find out these beautiful verses. This is a nice 117. See why we are suffering. Krishna bhuli sei jiva anadi, Prabhupada's favorite verse. Anadi bahimukha, ateva maya tare de sansara dukha. Forgetting Krishna, the living entity has been attracted by external feature from time immemorial. Therefore, illusory energy, Maya, gives all kind of misery in his material existence. Our material existence is nothing but full of miseries because we have turned away. We have turned away from the Lord. That is called, what is called? Krishna, Janasya Krishna, Vimukasya Daiva. As soon as Jamasya Suddhukita, so many, countless misery. Therefore, all the things. The next verses it is say that in this process of coming to material existence, in the process of coming to material existence, see how it is very nice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself say, Kabu Sargyo Uthaya, Kabu Narake Dubaya, Dandya Jane Raja Jena Nadite Chubaya. So in the material condition, living entities sometimes raised to higher planetary system, material prosperity, sometimes drowned in hellish situation. His state is exactly like that of a criminal whom a king punishes by submerging him in a water, then raising him again from the water. All those old days, how the punishment king gives, they will put you have committed some mistake, means you will catch your head and put inside the water. When you are suffocated, take it out. You are thinking, oh, I am fine. Again. So our material existence is full of like this. We are thinking that we are happy. This is not happiness. That relaxation is also that little relaxation is not counteracting our thing. That is also illusion. That is illusory happiness. What kind of happiness? If I am going to die tomorrow, we do not know anytime. So this material world full of happiness. And that is because we turn away from the Lord, whole idea. So the Krishna's appearance and our appearance is different. Our appearance according to karma, Krishna appearance. why Krishna is not affected by karma? Which verse Bhagavad Gita? Namam karmani limpanti. Name karma 440. So Krishna is not affected by the karma. He is not affected by karma. He is not coming. Krishna is coming because I have some affected. I have to appear in Devaki. No. Try to understand Janmashtami. Krishna appearance is not like our ordinary living entity. He is not forced by his karma. He is coming his own sweet will. Which verses? Very easy. Which verses? These are basic. Janmashtami we are getting 4, 6. Atma Mayaya. So Krishna said that Ajopisan Abhyatma Bhutanam Ishwara Pisan Prakatim Soyam Adhisthaya Sambhavani Atma Maya. He never comes like, a sweet will. He never comes like, you see, although I am unborn, my transcendental body never deteriorates, although I am the Lord of all living entities. By my internal energy, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. His original transcendental form, sweet will, he comes. That is his appearance, the mystery of appearance. So then the question is that why he comes. First of all, you understand why. First of all, his coming is not our things. Then why he comes. Paritranaya sadhana, although the externally it's a paritranaya sadhana vinasaya duskritam. The next verses, next 2 verses. Dharma sansthapanarthaya. But as I told you, that can be accomplished, carried out by other things. But he's come the particular purpose of giving pleasure to that. All this enacting this pastime so that we attract us, so that we will be attracted or practically render service to him. He's showing his kingdom pastime, and we hear about this, get attracted. Therefore, the activities of the Lord is adbhuta. Today also, adbhuta karmana. Harer adbhuta karmana. Even this Gajendra also. Adbhuta. Sumangalam. No, adbhuta. So, is adbhuta karmana. Very wonderful activities. So that we will be diverted for the activities of the mundane world and to activities of the Supreme Lord. We will diverted all Bollywood, all these mundane so-called activities, seemingly Batman, but we will divert to Hanuman. We will diverted from Taj Mahal to the greatest bridge. Lord Ram did it for the love of his wife, Ram Setu. What is Taj Mahal as compared to Ram Setu, which is floating on the water? Taj Mahal, okay, we consider some symptom, emblem of love, but what kind of emblems of love? Krishna made it. Wonderful. So Lord is giving all the things. Aishwarya Samagrasa. I can lift Govardhan. You are lifting 300 kilo and you become Olympiad champion. I can do this. The superhuman activities Lord is enacting to attract us. Yes, Shruta Tattva Paro Bhavet. This is, I showed you, na? This. Anugrahaya Bhaktana. Anugrahaya means to show his causeless. This is a merciful concession of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna to the living conditioned living entity who are rotting and rotating in this obnoxious principal misery, who is rotating in this material existence. To reclaim them, Lord comes Anugrahaya Bhaktana, to show his kingdom, to show his paraphernalia, to show his entourage, so that we can associate by hearing, by practical rendering service. Swing festival. What is the swing festival? Practically rendering service to him, to understand his activities, to hear about his very excellent activities, to awaken the Krishna consciousness. Our Krishna consciousness now dormant by the process of this. Yes, Shrutva tat paro bhavet. Very important was Shruta. Because the dormant love, our love for Krishna, as we belong to Krishna, is there. It is not disconnected or it is not died, but it is dormant. That dormant love can be awakened by hearing process. So Krishna is coming and enacting all the superhuman activity, sweet activities. What for? To reclaim us. Which verses Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said? These are the very fundamental verses. Where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that by process of our love for Krishna is very intrinsic. I give hint, Sarvanadi Shuddha Chitte Karya. Krishna Prema Sorry? These are the very fundamental verses we must always. I am not able to see. No, no. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunaya. These are the very fundamental, mostly quoted. Pure love for Krishna is eternal. These are fundamental, principle, fundamental philosophy you should understand. So pure love for Krishna is eternally established in the heart of living entity. We do not have to externally. It's not kind of artificial imposition. You chant, you dance, then you have a love devil. No, no, it's already there. It has to be reorientation program, reawakening. It's a reorientation program. It is not like that I have to gain it. Like, no, I do means I will achieve it. It is already there. Just revive it. It is just like a sun is there, but we cannot see sometime because it is clouded, covered by cloud. So the cloud of illusion, cloud of dirtiness, when it is covered, when clean, dissipated, we can see. Therefore, this in Vrindavan, the monkeys are accustomed to take our spectacle. Why, one of the reasons are not the monkeys are always naughty. Reason that with the spectacle of illusion, we cannot go to Vrindavan. Vishaya chadiya kabe suddha hobe mon, kabe hama herabo siri Vrindavan. So Vishaya chadiya, Vrindavan is not like that places I buy a ticket and go and see that. That is not qualification prerequisite for going to Vrindavan. That Vrindavan going means we should give up the spectacle, take the illusory spectacle. Our eyes is as long as contaminated with the illusory illusion of this material existence, we cannot see the Vrindavan. Vishaya chadiya kabe suddha hobe mon, kabe hama herabo siri Vrindavan. Therefore, Krishna is coming. That our Sarvanadi Sujatite to awaken our Krishna consciousness. That is Dhulan Jatra. So Rishabdev is coming and enacting all the activity, teaching also. Without understanding teaching properly, we cannot understand Krishna Radha. We will say Radha Krishna looking very nice. That's all. I exercise. Very nice. But we do not understand actually who is Radha, who is Krishna. Therefore, it is said that Rupa Raghunatha Pade Hoibe Akuti Kabe Hama Bujhava Jugala Pirati. To understand this conjugal affair of swing festival, which is the exhibition of Vrindavan pastime, is not by our ordinary. We may gather and do all the arrangement. We cannot understand this love. We have to study under the guidance of Rupa Raghunatha through our spiritual master. Then we can understand. Otherwise, conjugal love is very lofty. How to understand the loving affair of Radha Krishna? So we cannot understand this. We have to hear it properly with a bona fide process. Therefore, Rishabdev is coming and instructing also. Nayam deha devajam niloke custom kamanarati vidbujam. Why you are unnecessarily wasting your time for sense gratification, which is available for the dog, still eating animal like dogs and dogs. You are human being. You have got a prerogative. You have got the boarding pass and try to keep it nicely, just like you have got a boarding pass. If you not properly use it, keep it, what will happen? You cannot board. Similarly, this human form of life is a boarding pass. You have to pay a lot of things. Supposing you are going by Indigo or Singapore Airlines, you have to pay the money to get the boarding pass, right? You have to ticket. Similarly, to get this human form of life, we have to pay, evolve so many species of life. Labda sudullabam idam bahusambhamate asitim chaturat taiva lakyana tan jiva jatisu 8.4 million species of life. We have got this boarding pass. And after getting this boarding pass, if we do not utilize for the service of Krishna, and who is mercifully coming and giving such an opportunity, these festivals are opportunity to render practical service, to hear the glorious activities of the Lord like Rishabdev is coming. Is coming for glorious activity to preach us, to reclaim the conditioned soul. Benefit of the welfare, what is that? Today verse, welfare of the humanity. This is Lord, is very merciful. This is stated in this beautiful verses also. See, 10 to 39. 10 to 39. Forgetting. O Supreme Lord, you are not ordinary living entity appearing in this material world as a result of fruitive activities. See, same thing. See, one point I told, Namam Karmani Limpati. You can quote these verses. Therefore, your appearance or birth in this world has no other cause than your pleasure potency. If you can, what does it mean? World has no other cause than your pleasure potency. Quote one verses to justify this. This is what we should read Prabhupada books. Prabhupada always say, read. आनंद चिन्मय रसपति तावीर निज रूपता कला भी गोलोक निवसति अखिलात्मा भूतम. That is pleasure potency. You come Atma Maya with your pleasure potency, Haladini Sakti, you come for Atma Maya. What for? Ananda Chinmaya. For increasing your pleasure also. And similarly, living entity who are part of you, we have no cause of miseries of like birth, death, old age, except that these living entity are conducted by your external energy. Living entity are not supposed to also take birth, but because they have turned away, so Lord is coming with his causeless mercy to reclaim the conditioned soul. What is the verse? Looking here. O Supreme Controller, your Lordship previously accepted incarnation as the fish, horse, tortoise, Nrsimhadev, boar, swan, Lord Ramachandra, Parsuram, among the demigods, Mahamandev, to protect the entire world by your mercy. Now please protect again your mercy by diminishing the disturbance in this world. O Krishna, best of the Jadus, we respectfully offer our obeisance unto you. Whole idea is a merciful, anugrahaya bhaktana, to give mercy, to reclaim the conditioned soul. Otherwise, Lord has nothing to do with it. Lord, nothing. He has come for this purpose so that we will hear. We will go to the here and this Bharatavarsha, but first of all, let me finish this. Very important. This is a beautiful verse. To show causeless mercy to the devotee who would take birth in the future of this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, acted in such a way that simply by remembering him, one will be freed from all lamentation, unhappiness of material existence. In other words, he acted so that all future devotees, by accepting the instruction of Krishna consciousness stated in Bhagavad Gita, could be delivered from the pangs of material existence. That is a jackpot verse, 920%. Lord says this is whole idea of come. To justify that, I will justify with another verses. Or Krishna himself spoke to Uddhava. That why all these activities I am coming and all. So this is a beautiful verses. And Krishna himself say that why my real reason of coming and enacting the Jhulan Jatra, or what is that called? Jhulan Jatra, and even appearance, my appearance. This is very, very important verses. Where is this? It's an important two verses, very important verses. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the reservoir of all beauty. All beautiful things emanates from him. His personal form is so attractive that it steals the eyes away from all of them. Who is then seemed to devoid of beauty is comparison to him. When Lord Krishna was on the earth, he attracted the eyes of all people. When Krishna spoke, his words attracted the minds of all who remembered them. By seeing the footstep of Lord Krishna, people become attracted to him. Thus, they wanted to offer their bodily activity to the Lord as his follower. In this way, Krishna very easily spread his glories, which are sung throughout the world by the most sublime and essential Vedic verses. Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing, chanting those glories, conditioned soul born in future would cross beyond the darkness of the ignorance. Being satisfied with this arrangement, he left his desired destination. This is why Krishna come, this two line is given. Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing and chanting those glories, what we are doing, Jhulan Jatra. Jhulan Jatra meant for glory, chanting, then glorifying the Lord. Lord is showing how the loving exchange can be done by a living conditioned soul and a Krishna, Supreme Lord. Radha Krishna Prana Moro Juga. Why you are singing? To awaken that love of Godhead. Awaken that attachment for Krishna. So Krishna deliberately enacted all this beautiful pastime because Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing and chanting those glorious glorious, glorious conditioned soul born in future would cross beyond the darkness of the ignorance. That is the whole idea of the Lord appearance activities. Therefore, Krishna say, what is the benefit of that? Why you will do? Why you are conducting this festival? Why? Bhagavad Gita, why? Basic. What is the benefit? By conducting, we practically render service and know about the glories of the activities and hear and glorify. What is the benefit of that? Janma karma chame divyam evam jabeti tattatah tattadeham punar janma naiti mameti sorjuna. Whole idea, we will stop the repetition of birth and death. By simply this process of conducting, observing festival, glorifying his activities, remembering his activities, we can cross this ocean of material nation. How Krishna has designed everything for us. Kunti Devi also same thing speaking. Which verses? Children, we have to call back. All children join children class. Chinvanti gayanti krinanti aviksnasa smaranti nandanti tavahita janam. Saeva paschanti atirena tabakam bhava prabha upasamam padam mujam. Chinvanti gayanti krinanti aviksnasa smaranti nandanti tavahita janam. Chinvan hearing, smaranti remembering. Gayanti means glorifying everything. That is whole process of this festival. You may decorate, that is good, that is attracted, but whole idea behind the decoration to glorify the Lord. Because our eyes, we cannot see. Lord cannot be seen through eyes. Show me one verse, tell me one verse. Two verses also same, because so many verses are there. No, here only there. You see. Oh my Lord, your devotee can see you through the years by the process of bona fide hearing. Though their heart become clean, you take your seat there. You are so merciful to your devotee that you manifest yourself in a particular eternal form of transcendence, which they always think of you. So Lord is coming in that particular form, in a way that we can connect. Manusim tanu asritam. These people, those are non-devotee, they are thinking what Krishna is coming as a human. How God can human? He coming because for our benefit. They are deriding the Lord. What is the verse Bhagavad Gita? Deride the Lord when he comes in human form of life. 9:11. Avajananti mama mudha tanusim manu. So when Krishna comes, avajananti. Therefore in Vrindavan, see, many people go there, they will say, oh, what is this sways? Hawks, dogs, so dirty. Jamuna is dirty, this dirty. Why, you know? Because Krishna want to drive away all the impersonalists. Maya want to drive away. Impersonalist, atheist, they will say, oh, this is not good, go away. But devotees, they know behind this, there is unlimited pastime, glories of the Lord. So they appreciate Vrindavan despite all the industrialization, all the dirtiness, all this. That's the difference. Just to drive away impersonality. Prabhupada told this one, 1968, when we went to Vrindavan after America. So this is the process. This is why. This is why this you have to glorify the Lord. Sukadeva Goswami is also praying very nice verses. What is that? Yat kirtanam, yasmaranam, yat what is that? Oh, yadikhanam, yat sarvanam, yat arhanam. What is that? Sadhya, kalmasa, kalmasam, dhunati kalmasam. 24415. Very nice. So this activities of the Lord has to be glorified. Yat kirtanam, yasmaranam, yadikhanam, yad bandhanam, yat sarvanam, yad arhanam, lokasya sadhya. Lokasya means in general people. Sadhya means immediately. Vidhunati cleanses kalmasam, all dirty things. We are infected. Material world means we are infected by the modes. Tasmai Subhadra, all auspicious. Sumangalam, Mangalam Vishnu, Mangalam Garudadikya, Mangalam Pundarkyakam, Mangalaya Tanuhari. Lord is all auspicious, Subhadra. Sravase Namo Namaha. This is the process that we can easily cleanse all our dirty things. These are the transcendental activities, Adbhuta Karmana. This is a beautiful verses. I like this. This is a very nice verse. Tasma Sarvatmana Rajan. Sarvatmana means all conditioned soul. Hari Sarvatra Sarvada. Swateva Kititabhyasa Snateva Bhagavan Ninnam. This verse is like goosebump. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, remember the Supreme Lord Personality of God always and everywhere. Therefore, Lord comes to enact all the pastime we hear and glorify, we go back to God. Simply by this process. Nirvitat Serupagi Yaman Bhava Sudau Manovirama. So Nirvitat Serupagi Yamana. This is the medicine for all. Therefore, Krishna is coming and enacting all the pastime. Beautiful. Nivitat Serupagiyamanan Bhava Sudu Supramanavira Kautam Sloki Gunanubada Gnan Virajata Vina Sugana. Glorification of Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the Parampara system, that it is conveyed from spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is released by those no longer interested in the false and temporary glorification of the cosmic manifestation. Description of the Lord are right medicine. The right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing the glorification of the Lord except the butcher or one who is killing his own self? Those who are self-suicidal, they want to suicide themselves. They do not want spiritual upliftment. They do not want to go back. They want to suffer in this material world. They are not interested. Therefore, we have been praising and emphasizing and asking. Krishna also convincing that you come and surrender to me here. We are convincing all the initiated devotee. They must come once Bhagavatam classes, once in a week. Without Bhagavatam classes hearing, nobody can go back to Godhead. Without understanding the God. Lord is coming to make us to understand and hear and glorify Him. Whole idea is Sravanam, Kirtanam, Dhyanam, Hare Adbhuta Karmana. 11 to 36. 11 to 29. I'm saying. So Adbhuta Karmana. Whole idea to glorify the Lord. If you don't do that, useless wasted. And Lord's activities form is so sweet, just like Julan Jatra. Ramyam, Ruchiram, Ramyam, Ramyam. Every time is full of phrase, new, full of very nice. No, this is a very verse, 12:50. So Lord activities also is not like very boring. So 59, I think. Every time is fresh. Therefore, people go Vrindavan and all. They like to go again and again. Why? Same place, same principle, very different emotions. If is it not there? Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam tadeva saswan alasomocham tadeva sukanyam susayam ninnam yatuttama sloko jasanugayate. The word describing the glories of all famous personality of Godhead are attractive, releasable, and ever fresh. Indeed, such words are perpetual festival for the mind. They dry up the ocean of misery. That is why you should glorify. That is why you should glorify the Krishna. Chinvatam Sokotha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana Hudayantustani Abhadrani. So Lord incarnation is coming for this. And in Kali Yuga, this is only process of easy process of going back to Godhead. Which verses? Which verses? Easy process. Which process? Yani te charitani sa manusya sadhavakalo sinmanta kititavyascha tarishyanti ajanas. These verses is so important verses. We are thankful that you are getting introduced to these verses. I also get introduced by Prabhu's recent Prabhu. My dear Lord, those pious and saintly person who in the age of Kali hear about your transcendental activities, also glorify them, be easily cross over the darkness of the earth. So how to easily cross the darkness of the earth? Kesava Krishna Prabhu, did you know this verse? You know this verse? Where? My dear Lord, those pious activities. So this is the process where you have to hear about your transcendental activities and glorify them, easily cross over. So that's why it is stated that Rishabhadev and other incarnation comes, because this is the process. Tava Vikreditam Krishna Ninnam Paramamangalam. Mangala means what? Auspicious. Parama means supreme auspicious. Karana Piyusam Asadhat Rajanti Anyas Priyamjata. Oh my dear Krishna, your pastimes are supremely auspicious for mankind, are an intoxicating beverage for the earth. Tasting such pastime, people forget their desires for other things. Understand? So anytime in any place, Sarvatra Sarvada. It is said 2:36, I showed you. Sarvatra means where? Always. Or any places. Sarvada means always. Always any places. Sutaiva kititavya smataiva. Always hear and glorify, remember. That is the process of going back to God. There is no other process. There is no other process. And who is glorifying this one properly? Bharatavarsha. Those who are taking birth in Bharatavarsha. Now coming to the subject matter of Bharatavarsha. That is secondary. Sometimes Bharatavarsha also may not. Everywhere pious people. Bharatavarsha could not glorify. Therefore, Prabhupada went to America and bring them to show them that, see, you don't do, others can do also. Because this is the principle of glorification. Which verses Bharatavarsha? Later I will show that 519, but okay, 519. We will go to 519. I have initially quoted this verse. I cannot see the. They are there. So I showed you initially, but I did not speak about, because I want to speak about the activity. The demigod continue after performing very difficult tasks of executing Vedic literature and sacrifice, undergoing austerity, observing vows, and giving charity. We have achieved the position of inhabitant of heavenly planet. But what is the value of his achievement? Here we are certainly very engaged in material sense gratification. Therefore, we can hardly remember the lotus feet of Lord Narayan. Indeed, because of our expressive gratification, we have followed. A short life in this land of Bharatavarsha is preferable to a life active in Brahmaloka for millions and billions of years. See? Because even one is elevated to Brahmaloka, he must return to repeated birth and death. Which verse? These are the things you must, a Bhagavatam verses. These are the things how you remember the Bhagavatam verses. These are the Bhagavad Gita verses. Abrahma Bhuvana Alaloka Punaravartinna Arjuna. These are the mind should come tuck, 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 tuck. No need of preparation. Today I cannot see because I know the basic. If you know the basic, you can very nicely imply. No need of anything. These are basic things. Although life in Bharatavarsha is a lower planetary system, it's very short. One who lives there can elevate himself to full Krishna consciousness, achieve the highest perfection. Even in this short life, fully surrendering into the lotus feet of the Lord. Thus one attains Vaikuntha Loka, where there is neither anxiety nor repeated birth and death in a material body. Understand? Bharatavarsha. There is another verses is there. I think next one. What is that? 5:19:23, right? So it is very nice verse. An intelligent person does not take interest in a place even in the topmost planetary system. If pure Ganges topics of concerning Supreme Lord activity does not flow there. If there are no devotee engaged in the service on the bank of such a river, piety. If there are no festival of Sankirtana Jagya to satisfy Lord, especially since Sankirtana Jagya is recommended in this. So because Bharatavarsha is overwhelmed with the Sankirtana Jagya, therefore people are pious. And only Sankirtana Jagya. What is Sankirtana Jagya? Glorying and chanting and glorifying the Supreme Lord. Whole idea is the glorifying and chanting. Whole is idea Lord appearance is to give us opportunity to glorify and chant. Understood? If you do not do that, what will happen? Can you go back to Vaikuntha? Show me one verses where you cannot go. It say that you cannot go back to Vaikuntha. Did you know this verses? It is very much regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the description of the Vaikuntha planet, but engage in the topics which are unworthy to hear, which bewilders one intelligent. Those who give up the topics of Vaikuntha take to talk of the material world are thrown into the darkest region of ignorance. Regrettable. We are not discussing Bhagavatam. We are not discussing the glories. Everybody wanted to this come in evening and attend this Jhulan Jatra program. What they will get it? Of course, Jhulan Jatra festival should attend, but real derive means they should know this pastime. What is the understanding of the pastime? Glorify it, hear about it. Simply coming and swing it and go back. That is also good. It is stated that where it is stated, Krishna says, this is verse. Krishna says that we should conduct my festival, Uddhava. In these verses, Krishna says that you should conduct my Janmashtami. Mada Janma Karma Kathana Mama Prabhanu Madanam Gita Tandava Badrita Goshtibir Mada Griyauchava. See? Griyauchava. So here it is said that Janmashtami and all, you should follow that. You should So, my dear Uddhava, one can give up false pride and prestige by engaging in the following devotional activities. One may purify oneself by seeing, touching, worshipping, serving, offering prayers of glorification, obeisance to my form as the deity, to my pure devotee. One should also glorify my transcendental qualities and activities. Here with love and faith of narration of my glories is constantly meditated on me. One should offer me whatever one requires, accepting oneself as my eternal servant. One should give up oneself completely to me. One should always discuss my birth activity, enjoy life by participating in festivals. Participating in festivals such as Janmashtami, which glorify my pastime. In my temple, one should also participate in festival ceremonies by singing, dancing, playing musical instrument, discussing me with other Vaishnava. See, discussing me with other Vaishnava. We are discussing about this one. Where the Jhulana Jatra has been given, which book? Nectar of Devotion, chapter 9. The Viśvambhara Purana, it is stated that anybody, all his festival, not only Jhulan Jatra, if even a chandal, a dog eater, see the Lord or see the Lord on the cart, not about even seeing the Lord, see the Lord, he will be treated, considered as the a friend of a member of Vaikuntha, member of particular or associate of Vishnu. That is the significant importance of Jhulan Jatra. Therefore, we are conducting under the guidance of spiritual master, giving us opportunity for us to go back to God. 11, 29, 12 also same thing. Same thing is given, a festival. So whole idea that how the Bharatavarsha important, because Bharatavarsha people is glorification is there because they are accustomed to glorify. 11, 20, 12. I'll finish it with this verse. So they are accustomed to glorify the Supreme Personality. 12, 14, all these. So many verses are there. It is stated that this a resident of both heaven and hell desire human birth on the earth planet because human life facilitates the achievement of transcendental knowledge, love of Godhead, whereas neither heavenly nor hellish bodily effects provide such opportunity. Particularly 11, 20, 14 also it is stated here that and this is the verse, that a wise person knowing all the material body is subject to death, it can still award the perfection one life. One should foolishly neglect to take advantage of opportunity before the death arrives. So our Bharatavarsha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say, Bharatavarsha janma hoite, janma satharka kari karo pokar. First of all, you glorify here, you make the life perfect and teach others. Because Bharatavarsha you are accustomed. Because Lord has come, Lord has enacted his pastime. We know that okay, Jhulan Jatra. We know the Janmashtami. Who is celebrating Janmashtami? Whole India practically is celebrating. Why? Because Lord has came to Bunda, appeared on the Bundavan Mathura. Then he went to Bundavan Gokul. All things we know. And we know that this is a concession, this is a mercy of the Lord. Anugrahaya bhaktana. Anugrahaya bhaktana. Manusim tanvas. So thank you very much. So whole idea is that this all the incarnation comes. Yani te charitani. All this avatar come for the purpose of reclaim the conditioned soul. The verse did I forget to show you? The incarnation comes. This is already I showed you, no? Yeah, this is already showed. Yeah. Krishna comes for the mercifully diminishing the disturbance in the world. So this is gone. Another verses is there. I forget this one. Here it is 10 to 14, 1 or something. So yeah. So Lord has come for this purpose. I forget someone the words. I cannot see also to have to type. So this is the whole idea. Is the Lord has appeared and enacted all the pastimes for to reclaim the condition. Anugrahaya bhaktana, because we have gone away from the Lord and suffering in this material world. Thank you very much. Any question? Any comment? So Gantra Simon Bhav Kam ki jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tell me.
This is that Bharatavarsha they told, because in those days it's like entire planet is Bharatavarsha.
Bhagavad Gita first chapter, where the who is referring? Yes, Bharata. No, even no, yes, because Bharatavarsha. That time, you read the Bhagavad Gita where Uddhav, what is sacred Sanjay, is speaking to one of the verses. He told the entire world. That means Yudhishthira Maharaj was the that time Dhritarashtra was the king of entire world. Chakravarti Samrat. Bharatavarsha was not Ilavarta Varsha. Before Bharatavarsha, it is Ilavarta Varsha. Bharatavarsha is named after this Rishabhadev's son, Bharat Maharaj. There are three Bharatas. Ram, brother Bharata, Dushyanta, son Bharata, and this Bharata. So this Bharat Maharaj is after. So this Bharatavarsha is not confined. Now has been confined to one tract of land. It was not. It was entire things. Out of 9 islands, sorry, 7 islands, one of the Bharatavarsha was there, where it has everything under one flag. Hastinapur was the capital of entire Bharatavarsha. Therefore, this verse is that where chapter 1 only, where the is addressing that you are the complete Bhuva. This is complete Bharatavarsha, you are the king, Dhritarashtra. He is addressing to Dhritarashtra. Sanjay is addressing. So that we can know that Bharatavarsha was not just this one. Then slowly it has been diminished, geographically diminished. That is a different thing. But the whole idea is that because Bharatavarsha, that Vedic culture was there, Sanatana Dharma, when Lord enacted this pastime, his biased land Bharatavarsha. So these people are very pious. Because why pious? As soon as they hear about our schooling and all, we hear about Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. So as soon as we associate by hearing means what? Associate with Lord. Lord is absolute. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Nitya Mukta Avinatya Nama Namina. His everything is non-different. As soon as we associate with the Lord, Lord is called Pavitram Paramam Bhava, supreme pure. When we associate with supreme pure, we get purified. Therefore, and once you purified means pious. Sinnatam Sukatha Krishna, Punya Saravana Kirtan, Udantustani Abhadrani, all Abhadrani will go. And then only you can be attracted to the Lord pastime. Vishwaya Chadiya, without Vishwaya Chadiya, what Dulan Jatra we will conduct? Dulan Jatra cannot be appreciated without Vishwaya Chadiya. This is Vrindavan pastime. Vishwaya Chadiya. When Vishwaya Chadiya means give up all the material attraction, attachment, then we can understand the Krishna and we can see. Thank you very much. Gantrasam Bhagam ki jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nothing has, no. What is that? Log? Steam.